Welcome back to the Unknown Angler. Today we're going to be making a creepy crawler brush, and what that is a brush with EP fibers in the center and rubber legs on the outside, silicone rubber legs. And the reason for that is it makes a beautiful redfish crack fly with some great rubber legs all the way around. It really moves well and really plays well in the water. Anyway, let's get going. I'm going to start out with some medium stainless steel wire. Hook that up. Okay, so what we're going to be using to make this brush is standard EP fiber. And what I'm going to be doing is a tan, a brown, and an orange mixture. Off with the tan, and we take a little bit of that. Next we go to the brown. Take a relatively small amount of this. Then next we go to the orange. Once again, relatively small amount. These I brush out very quickly individually. And then take all three of these and combine them into one long piece. Pull the ends out so they match. Cut them off even. I'm going to be using a size 1 hook for this redfish crack. And a size 1 means I'm going to tie, if you tie bigger, you need to cut these bigger. But I am going to use a 1-inch brush on these. So the core of that brush is going to be 1 inch. So I'm going to set up my block for 1 inch. And you've seen me do this before, cutting 1 at a time. If you do 3 at a time, it goes a lot quicker. This is going to be the core. This is going to be the making of the fly. Do not worry too much about making sure that you have good striations, difference in the color here. You see I've set this up as tanned, brown, and orange. Doesn't even matter if you put those in different positions either. It's all going to come out in the wash actually when you start wrapping this around. And you're not going to be able to start with the tanned each time you tie one of these flies. Because you're going to cut this off at different lengths. Anyway, once you have your core set down and lined up, and it looks pretty good, we're going to then take, and these are silicone, these are grizzly legs. Stone River Outfitters silly legs or the grizzly legs from Orvis. Either one will work fine. They seem to be the same type thing, which is basically a silicone type silly leg. This one is pumpkin and brown, just to let you know what I'm doing. But I take a full band of these. I just fold them in half, cut them in half, go into the end and cut off the ends so that you have individual legs now. And then we're going to take those individual legs. This should be somewhere between 1.5 inches and 2 inches. But those individual legs you want to put right down the middle of each one of your different colors that you have, whatever you choose to do for your brush. Fibers. Once you get the leg close to position, just drop it. If you move it around or push it around, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up moving your brush around underneath, and that'll just really offset your brush. But once you have those laid out, and don't worry if they're all even or all matched or whatever, actually the variation, the natural variation you have of the length of the legs will really help out with the look of the fly. Just going to add a little wax to our wire on the opposite side. Come over and make it down. Do about 10 turns on this side just to get it going. Go to the other side. And you can go in and you can push things around a little bit at this stage. Hopefully you don't have to change things a lot. Try to get everything as close to the center as you can. Basically, try to get the brush in the center. In other words, the EP material. Do not worry about the legs. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. And you can see the nice variation in the colors that you get there. This is actually perfect for this the fly that I'm about to tie with it. And hopefully, if you do it correctly, you won't get any legs that actually spin in to the fibers. So what I like to do is get a really good spin going here and get some really good tension. And a little trick to making any brush is to look at the amount of tension you have on the brush, and you can tell that by how far this end is moved out. Once you see how much tension you have on that brush, and I like to get like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch pulling out, that tells me that this wire has really compacted itself in the center. The more you spin this, the more tension you're going to put on the wire, the more it's going to compact itself, the more you're going to get a compacted brush, and the further this end is going to, this spring loaded end of the brush maker is going to move out. Like I said, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and that's pretty compact. This is the only brushing I do with it here, and I just do a very light brush over the top of this. Doesn't seem to affect the legs. I use my pet brush to do it. I do not go in with the comb. That would really take it out. And what you have at the end is what I call a creepy crawler brush, or a brush with legs on it. And it is really nice. I'm sure a lot of you can think of a lot of uses for this. So I've already put a video up on how to tie the redfish crack. So what I've done is I've tied the body of the redfish crack, and I've decided just to put the dubbing brush on today, the creepy crawler brush, just to show you how that looks. Basically, if you want to see how to tie this fly and what to use on it, then go back to the original post on how to tie a redfish crack. But like I said, I'm just going to put the dubbing brush on here just to show you real quickly what it looks like when we're done. Okay, and basically you do this just like you would do any other dubbing brush. Pull the legs back as you work it forward. Pull everything back in. We're going to do what we do with every dubbing brush we make. We pick it out later, but I think you can see right now exactly what we're trying to do here. And that is to make a very nice multicolored body with a lot of big old legs sticking out all over the place. And they really do tend to spread themselves out very nicely around the body. And when we get to the front, I'm just going to take a quick turn around the front, because I am going to end up putting, I fish all these flies I tie, so I am going to end up putting some weed guards on this one. I'm about to head back down to Florida for next month, and this fly is definitely something I'll be using. So you see, you can basically see right now what we're looking at. We're looking at a very, very buggy looking fly with a lot of legs coming out of it. And like I said, you can trim these legs to whatever length you'd like. They seem to be right around right where I'd like to have them for this particular fry. And then go in and just pick it out. You don't need to pick it out with a comb. Just pick it out with your bodkin. These aren't too heavily packed in. And then, you know, just brush it back a little bit, and you can see exactly what we're talking about. That is one animated fly when you get done. And now you can see what it looks like. Those legs are pretty evenly distributed around the fly. Top to bottom, back to front, and as you pull on them, you'll find that they'll reset themselves right where they're supposed to. So hey, good luck out there. See you next time.